Hey guys, welcome back to Living Dunkel Life. We are here in my here in the kitchen. As you saw from the thumbnail, I did an oopsie. After we had the last babies, I hatched out the last babies in my incubator. It got left in a room and I didn't do anything with it. It's been like that for a couple months now, just sitting in the dust and the yuck. And I usually right after the babies are born, I clean it, sanitize it, do the whole thing. But unfortunately, I did not do that. So this is the state that it is in. And it's pretty bad. I mean, it's dusty. It's got all the gook from when the babies were born. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So I'm gonna clean this right now. And basically my tools of choice are gonna be just some Dawn dish detergent, a scrub pad, and a toothbrush. The reason the toothbrush is because whoever made this, all the grooves in the bottom that hold the water, basically, if you don't have it this way, if you don't have something like this, you can't get in there, and this is gross. I really dropped the ball on this, so we're gonna get this ready. I want to start collecting eggs this week. Yeah, so this is Sunday, and I'm hoping by next Saturday to be able to have babies in here. So I'm gonna get it cleaned up, set up, and then probably we'll collect eggs this week. My hopes is by next Friday night, Saturday morning, somewhere around in there to set them. So that'll give me, 5 days, which shouldn't be too bad for it. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up real quick, and then I'll show you what it looks like after, just because I don't have anywhere to set the camera, and I need 2 hands because it's really gonna need some scrubbing. So I'll set you guys down for a second, and then I'll pick you back up when I get it cleaned. All right, guys, I just got done finishing cleaning the incubator. It's a little echoey because I'm back here in my spare room. I've showed you before where we kind of keep the incubator. It works out nice, doesn't get disturbed in here. So yeah, we got it all cleaned up. I don't like to use any chemicals like bleach or cleaner. I just like the Dawn dish soap, scrub it up real good and make sure it's nice and clean for the eggs. Don't suggest leaving it for a couple months after they've hatched before cleaning it, because whoever invented this obviously never cleaned it. It was hard. The bottom is full of grooves and very skinny little reservoir around the edge. Even my toothbrush didn't want to get in there, so it was a pain, and I recommend just cleaning it right after so everything cleans up well. I didn't do that, however. Won't make that mistake again. But anyways, yeah, this is the Nutri-Right, and I will say not my only complaint, but one of my main complaints is if they would have just put like a little handle, like a little handle crusher, you could just pick it up, would have been awesome. They didn't, however, so picking it up's a little trying sometimes. But yeah, this is the Nutri-Right 360. I do like it. Your settings here, it's got, I don't have it plugged in, but it's got the nice egg handler. Eggs go in here. Turn, of course. I feel like you can fit I think it's 22 or something like that in here. You got your water reservoirs, and I'll show you this more when I actually go to set it up. But we have a lot of chores we got to get done today. That was one of them, so check that off the list. That's done. Like I said, I'm going to start collecting, and we'll go out later today and see what we got. I need to put some more straw in there because I like my eggs really clean, and we've had some rain. And so when the chickens hop up in there, it's just nicer if there's straw in there. It keeps the egg clean. So we'll go out and see what we got. And yeah, we'll get set up for our next hatch, and you guys will come along with me on that. So, all right, guys, it's Marie, and we're out here in the chicken coop. I just got done feeding them some scraps from the kitchen. I unfortunately didn't ever pick you guys back up today. So we're just gonna real quick see if there's any eggs to collect for a hatching project. This nest box looks pretty bare. Nice. This nest box, we got some stuff. We got some Moran eggs, nice dark ones. So we'll grab those. And then, I'm not sure. I have so many that lay these colors. These smaller ones are usually the naked necks. But these other ones, I'm not sure because I have so many. But anyways, that does give us, I was hoping for some of my, I had the copper marans, but I was hoping for some of the Americanas. But they lay nice green eggs and I don't see any in here. So, but we ended up with 5 eggs. We'll put them, I'll show you what I do with them later to get them ready for hatching. Hi guys, it's Marie. And earlier I showed you me collecting some eggs. That was a day or two ago. I think it was yesterday. And then yesterday or today when I went out to collect eggs, they had quite a bit. So between the two, I think I'm good to set them. I think I want to set them tonight, so I'm going to show you guys that. But for now, I wanted to show me how I store them. Normally, I collect them over maybe 3-4 day period. This time, however, this was 2 days worth of eggs. They just decided to lay really well. So some of them I may exchange out when I collect tonight. I collect usually when I get home from work when I feed. These are small, and I normally wouldn't put these small in here, but these I think are my naked necks, and I do want to hatch naked necks. So even though it's a little on the small side, I have small. I mean, if you hatch banty chickens, their eggs are small. I have I think she's an Araucana. She has very small eggs. I don't have one of hers in here, and I really wanted one. She's my only one that lays white, but I don't have one in here. But so what you do is point down. It's hard kind of to tell in some of these eggs, but there's a rounder side, and that goes up. And the reason being is that's where the air sac, where the baby's going to be able to breathe. That's where the air sac's formed. So you want everything down and that to go up. So I think this is a naked neck, a little bit small. This one, I'm not sure. My naked necks are my best layers, so I'm not real sure. This is a nice big from my Americana, and she is actually an Americana. I got her from a hatchery, and I know that she is an Americana, not an Easter egger. And like I said, a lot of these look similar, so I'm thinking a lot of these are my naked necks. So I do maybe want to trade them out if I get some different ones. It is hard to tell though, because most of mine lay the same color. But these more, a little bit deeper, usually are either my blue, no, I think those are my naked necks. Anyways, here's one that I do want to trade out. I don't have very many from I have 2 Americanas, a black one, and then this really pretty colored one. I think this is from my really pretty colored one. I think this is from my black. And I don't normally, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's kind of hard to tell, it's very pointy. I'm not big on putting these real pointy ones in there. However, I do want to hatch the Americana, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. If I can change it out later for a better one, I will. These, of course, are my copper marans. I only got 2 from them, but this is a really nice, pretty egg. There's a dark color you can see on it, so got those. Again, just putting all the pointy sides down. I ended up with 13, which I feel okay. These 2 had an egg on them, break on them, and I don't normally get dirty eggs, but for now, that's what we got. If I can trade them out later, I will. So I seal them up. And then you can use anything. You want them kind of at a 45-degree angle, I guess that is. And that keeps the embryo from sticking to the eggshell, the sides. So like when you have your automatic turner and it's turning them, or you're turning them in the incubator, you want to do that while you're storing them too. Mama would turn them. So then during the day, I'll just go like this and just simply flip them that way. And so it leans them all that way. Now I do have this one extra that's not fitting there, and I'm not going to get a whole carton for it. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of lean him like this, and then I'll just flip him around. Like I said, we're going to put them in probably tonight, either tonight or in the morning. I'm not sure. But so I mean, they're not going to have that much time to be needing to be churned, but this is what you would do if you did collect them for a couple days. You needed to churn them. If you order them from a hatchery, you usually, or from somebody else who sold you hatching eggs, you want them to sit for like 24 to 48 hours before you put them in, so they're all settled. So you would do this as well with the same thing, just Just keep turning them. You don't have to turn them like every 5 minutes, but I try to do at least 3 times a day, just whenever I'm thinking about it. I mean, I feel like you can't turn them too much. So whenever I'm thinking about it, I walk by. I have them here on my kitchen counter. I usually push them a little bit out of the way here, but that way I see them and just turn them every time I think about it until they're ready to go in. So I don't like to really keep them for longer. I usually by 4 or 5 days, I like to set them. Of course, the sooner you collect them and set them, the higher chances that they're going to be good and hatch. So like I said, I collected 1 batch yesterday, 1 batch today. Sorry, 1 batch the day before, 1 batch last night, and then I'll collect tonight and just pick out the best egg. So I may change up some of those, and then that'll be it. I think I want to do 13. That's a pretty good number for me. If I get a good batch today, I may throw a couple more in there. We'll see. But anyways, and then I will pick you guys back up whenever we start setting them into the incubator. I'll show you guys that part. I'm back. I just got back from work, and this morning I was showing you guys the eggs, getting them all set up, and I told you that I was going to try to get them either in tonight or in the morning. I think I'm going to do it in the morning because I do like to let this run for I like the incubator to run for it says 6 hours, but I think 4 to 6 hours, but I like to do a good 24 hours, make sure it's doing good and everything. So if there's any issues, I can address them now rather than when the eggs are in there. So I'm gonna turn you guys around and kind of walk you through this real quick. Okay guys, this is the incubator, and it's gonna look really weird because sometimes it wants to flash. I'm recording with my phone right now. But, so I'm sorry if that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like that in person, but, anyways, we got a little helper here, Astro. Astro, hi babies. We got Astro here helping us. So the first thing I want to do is, okay, so, we're gonna press this for 3 seconds. It's been a little while, so it's gonna take me a minute. Okay, that's the temperature we want, 99.5. So we're gonna hit okay on that. We want 21 days, and it counts down, so that's good. And right now it's warming up. We're at 29%. We want to try to get to about between 50 and 55 is what I like to run it. So what you do is once you get that all set, you see it's going up, and it should go to 99.5 and stay there. And then it will count the days down. So you got this A and B. B has a cover on it. We're going to leave the cover on. We're going to go ahead and fill it up until you see water come back. So I just have this little water bottle. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry if the light's a little weird in here, but we're going to fill this up. I like to fill it until it's basically, seems like it's not going anymore. Kind of hard to tell, but as long as it's accepting water, I'm assuming it's still filling, so that's kind of why I just do a little at a time here. You always want to make sure this is on a flat surface, because if it's not, then you will have areas where it doesn't fill evenly. So we're just gonna, okay, I feel like that's full. And then when I start, you have this little vent that you can close it, there'll be less air in there, and then open it more. I always start it when I'm first trying to get it to temp. I always start it halfway. That's what they suggest, so that's what I'm gonna do. You can see right now we're at 93.5, we're at 31%. We're gonna try to get that to 50 or 55. So I filled it up, and we're gonna let everything kind of adjust, and we'll come back in here. And if this is the temp and this is still not where I want it, I can kind of maneuver this and get it to where I want it. And then I just want to make sure the egg turner's working. So what you do is you have this plus and minus button, you press them both down, and it will move it if it's working. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can see it's working. Okay, So everything looks good. We're just gonna let it sit in here. Another thing you have to watch with this is, look at this. It's not seated all the way. And that's one of the problems, the biggest complaints about this is no handle, and it is hard to, I just noticed that, to get seated in. So, okay, there it goes, it clicked. So you go around it. Anyways, so that's one thing you do have to watch, because it will not put your temperature or your humidity right if you have the cracks in there. So I got those all sealed up. I got it seated in there correctly. All right, guys, it's been several hours. Had dinner, fed all the animals, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark now. But we're sitting at 99.5 and 55 degrees, or 55% humidity, which is a little more than I want. No, it's not bad, but it's like at the max. So basically, if you open up this vent a little bit, it should bring that down. We'll see. I opened up a little bit. I can go all the way. I mean, I might even go all the way. Maybe like that. And see, it's already down to 54. So I don't want to go too much because I do want it, I'd like it closer to 50. So open that up a little bit. This is why I like to get all this set before I put the eggs in here, because you don't want to be messing with all this once your eggs are in there. You want it ready, perfect, ready to go. So we're perfect time. That's going down to 53. This does wonders for your stuff. So if it stays at 53, I would probably be fine to set them. Like I said, I'm going to set them first thing in the morning, and I will pick you guys back up for that. But right now we're setting pretty good. I'll check it a couple more times. I'm not going to pick you guys back up because it's boring just to keep seeing a degree or so of humidity. But that's where we're at. And you can't really see, but it is 53, 52. So I think it's working. Like I said, I'll come back in, but I'm going to pick you guys back up in the morning when I set the eggs. I may or may have not added a few more eggs once I collected today. So we may have more than 13, but anyways, we'll get to that tomorrow. Okay, guys, we are here, and it has been a steady 99.5, and I got it at 52. It was at 51, so I closed it just a little bit. I'm going to keep it at 52. I think that'll work good. Got my eggs here. These are the ones I showed you yesterday, and then I collected a couple more. I was waiting to get my white Ericanon, but I didn't get one from her, but I did get another good green one and a couple good copper marrons. So sometimes this is hard with one hand because the way this thing is set up, but we're going to go ahead and take this off. And sometimes I mark the eggs with an X. If I was hand turning them, I would definitely. Sometimes I mark them with an X just to make sure they're turning, but I have not had any problem with them turning in there. If you had a big, like a goose egg or a duck egg, you might want to, because just to make sure it wasn't like just staying on one side, but these are pretty small. So I always go point in, and for some reason I always feel the outsides first. I don't know, it's just the way I do. I don't know if it matters, but that's how I do it. I'm gonna get this out of our way, get this one out. And like I said, I just do point in. Some of the smaller eggs I'm going to put in the center because I feel like the center holes are a little smaller. So I feel like the smaller ones, again, I'm a little worried about that one just because it is so pointy, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I don't know if I don't know how many I have here. We're going to count them as soon as I get them in here. I like them to go on the outside for some reason. So if they all fit, then I like to put them out there. If they don't, then I'll put the smaller ones on the inside. Sometimes I candle these just to make sure they don't have any hairline cracks. I did not do that this time. Oh, it looks like we're gonna be perfect. Okay, so everybody's gonna go on the outside. So I'm just gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're starting out with 16. And on probably, some people do day 3. I'm gonna do day 4 or 5. We will candle them And then people do usually like day 3, day 7, day 18. I'm going to do like 4 or 5, really let them get going before I candle them. And then probably like day 10 and then day 18 is probably how I'll do it. I don't like to mess with them too much because I feel like the least amount you open it up and you mess with them, the best. I do, however, not want a rotten egg in there because that can explode and contaminate all your other eggs and just be a disgusting mess. So that is why you do still want to candle a couple times, because if you leave an egg in there that's rotten, that's not, either the chick died before it fully formed or it was never fertile, that sitting in this heat and humidity will just sit in there and become almost like a bomb, and they will explode, and it's disgusting. So we're not going to do that. So we are going to candle, make sure everybody's progressing how they should, and get rid of anything that isn't. That's why I did put a couple extra. I wanted to end up with about 12. So I have 4 extra. So chances are there might be some that are infertile, or there might be some that will quit, not form completely, and they die in different stages, and I don't know why, but it does happen. So hoping that gives me a decent hatch rate. So I'm going to put you guys down for a second because I cannot put this thing on right with one hand. So hold on one moment. All right, so I got it back on, made sure everything's good. We still got water. It's going to take a minute for it to get back up to temp and humidity, but I will check here in, I don't know, an hour or so, just to make sure that it is good. We'll give it one more test. I'm going to put you guys down here so you can see it turn the eggs. They're all turning really nicely in there. Perfect. So we know everything's working well. And like I said, it held the temperature and the humidity all night long. So I know it's good to go. So we'll just, to me, the first few times I did these, I was constantly in here messing with them. Plus I had the little giant, which it's much harder to keep the humidity and much harder to, you have to turn all the eggs because I didn't have an egg turner. So I was in there a lot, and I'd had really good success, but there's times I've dropped eggs, had to wax them closed and this and that. And so I just try to stay hands off. So in this room, kind of set it and forget it, which is nice about the Nutri-Right 360. I know a lot of you have your, some people love it, some people hate it. Like I said, I went from a styrofoam little giant to this, so this is much better. I will probably, if I really get into hatching, I want to start hatching certain breeds, I will probably get like a better setup. But for now, this works, and we'll be back in about 4 to 5 days, and we'll do some candling. This thing's nice because it has the candler right here, so you can, if you're in a dark room, it actually works pretty good. You can use your phone, a flashlight, anything like that. So that's where we're at. And I'll get you guys back up.